Happy Monday, everybody. Hope you all are doing well. This is an impromptu live. I am at my favorite place, Starbucks, and I wanted to get on here because speaking engagement I had last Thursday. I wanted to cover that, and then I wanted to cover a question I got from one of the high school students that I just spoke to on last week. And I'll talk about her because it was a great question and it made me think that a lot of times I need to explain more about what I do. Definitely to like the high school and college students that I speak to, because whenever I stand in front of them, I get the question a lot, like after it's done, like, so is this what you do full time? Like, is this your job? And I'm like, yeah, because they're used to seeing people who come in that their main job is something else. So, and I'm sorry if it's loud, I'm at Starbucks, but my kids are at home, so this is probably quieter here than it is at my house. Sorry, that's why it's getting done here. But I have to understand that a lot of the speakers that come in front of them may be a professor, maybe a teacher, maybe some banker, that their real job is banking and they're trying to speak about something else. And they don't see as many professional speakers. So she asked me in my DM, she said, what exactly is your job title? And she said the reason she asked is because she wants to do what I do, and she wants to know, do I know of any classes in high school she can take to do what I do, and so forth. So I DM'd her back and said what I am is a speaker, I said I'm an entrepreneur, but my main source of income is being a speaker. But I also do books. Exactly, it does. I also do books and have online courses, so it's deeper than a speaker. I run a business. And so really I'm an entrepreneur, and I was trying to get that to her, and that's why I did the live, as well as, a lot of people who see me on social media, they're like, okay, Janae's a speaker. No, I own a business. I'm an entrepreneur. That's what I am. I cannot get on stages if I did not know how to run a business. That is for any kind of entrepreneur. If they don't know how to run a business, guess what? Whatever you think they do, like if you think they're a YouTuber, a podcaster, a speaker, sell beauty products, whatever, that's not what they are. They're an entrepreneur, and if they don't know how to do that correctly, guess what? They're not going to be in business very long. And I told her, I said, unfortunately, unless you have an entrepreneurship class in high school, that there's really, nothing. And I gave her some websites that she can go to that they have other subjects on it. But if you search entrepreneurship, I'm sure that's on it as well. And I gave her some podcasts to listen to and some people to follow on social media to learn about entrepreneurship and really what that is. Whenever I go to campuses, it's so much more than financial literacy, because everything leads back to money. Like when I teach them about social media, that leads back to money. They can lose out on scholarships. They can start their own business on social media. When I talk about LinkedIn, that's money. So whenever I speak to students, and this is more or less than the corporate side, but whenever I speak to students, I'm bringing them things from the world that I've been a part of now for 8 years, and then of course I bring the corporate part, which I was a part of for 10 years. So I'm bringing all of that into one space and trying to give them a crash course in it. And depends on what I'm hired for, an hour and a half, or it can be 4 hours. Whatever it is, I'm giving them a crash course in it, so it gets their mind thinking, helping them understand what else is out there, and that it's not the same path for everybody. A lot of things that I run into is people feeling like they have to know what they are going to be doing in life, like as soon as possible. And I always tell people, and I tell these people whenever I speak at corporate America, you're going to have 5, 6, 10, careers in your life. I am on number at least 8. 8 different jobs that I've had at least. Now this is going to be the last one, but because this is what I love to do. But I've had at least 8, and so I tell people all the time, like, don't just go in a direction of what you love and apply your life to that. And what's going to end up happening is that you're going to end up doing what you love. You may have to go through a few things to get there, but guess what? You have a long life ahead of you, and that's for all of us. Like, I got at least, I'm going with 60 plus years left on this earth, and with technology and healthcare, in the future. Who knows how much longer? So yes, this is a marathon and not a sprint. So I don't mind taking my time to do things. I don't care where somebody's at in their cycle. Like I don't look at other people, and I always tell people don't judge your beginning by somebody else's middle because you're going to be miserable. And social media can make people do that a lot. If you feel like you are like looking at people, and saying, why am I not at that space yet? Then you need to unfollow those people. Because you don't need to be doing that. Everybody is on their own race. Those of you who know me know that I'm a Christian, I'm a believer, and what is for me is always for me. I don't care if a door closed, that door was supposed to be closed because another one opens. For example, one program that I was supposed to speak at in October, budget didn't come through, so they had to cancel my speaking engagement. Okay, that was a bummer. Kind of angry about that, but it was fine. I mean, budgets are budgets. Okay. Just got a call. Well, no, I made a call to try to straighten some things out with this other speaking engagement last Friday, like 3 o'clock. I haven't heard back from her. People get busy. That's another point. Understand that people are busy, so don't get frustrated. Don't get stressed out if people don't call you back or email you back. Pick up the phone. That's what my story was about last week. So I picked up the phone, gave her a call. It was a misunderstanding what was going on with the numbers. Got that straight. Now, the speaking engagement that was supposed to happen got canceled on October 18th. This new one came up for October 19th, paying $1,000 more. $1,600 more. And it's local. I ain't got to fly nowhere. What is for you is for you. And so, as a believer, that's something that I always stress to myself and continue to remind myself. One door closes, another one or multiple ones will open. It just is what it is. So that was her question, and I wanted to share exactly, like in my program, I'm trying to think, the Speaker's Blueprint, I go more into some different ways of how I run my business and exactly how my day goes. I know how to become a highly paid speaker. I go through my email pitches and my phone calls and that schedule, how I do it. Like it's not just like hit and miss. Like I'm not out here just let's make it happen and see what goes there. No, there's a whole process, there's a whole strategy. That's how it's able to like repeat itself over and over again. I have this whole technique that I do when I email, when I call again, all that kind of stuff. And so I wanted just to share a little bit about my strategy at the beginning of the week. So on Sundays, and every day with this journal, I do my journal. I write something in it, the same thing in it each and every day, and it just keeps my mindset at a certain point. But on Sundays, I write down my big tasks in this journal. So this is what needs to be done this week, but there are bigger things that are like the overall picture for the week. And so I look at that every day and like, okay, Janae, have you gotten that big thing done? So one thing I need to get done, I needed to edit a video that is going up on my Instagram around 12 o'clock. I just got that done. Like that's one of my big things for the week is editing that video to be able to put it up on Instagram. But this is what I use for the big to-dos for the week. And it's my everyday I'm hustling, because you gotta hustle in order to be an entrepreneur. It's no other way. You're gonna lose. And then I always have like a little piece of paper like this that has like the daily to-dos. And at the end of the day, it gets thrown away because I need to get stuff done. So I don't put a bunch of stuff on here, because if you're gonna put a bunch of stuff on a paper like this, then you're not gonna get hardly anything done. You're just writing stuff to do. So, the emails that I need to send out, the calls that I need to make, some little ins and outs I need to take care of, certain not bills, but things that I need to change that I'm not using anymore. So, like my Zoom. I'm not planning on doing a webinar because I'm about to hit the road again pretty heavily. So I'm not going to be doing a big webinar so I can go back to Zoom, the regular price, which is $0, for a few months, because I'm not going to be doing a webinar that I need a big Zoom on it or a long time. So that $15 bill can go away for a while. So I'm looking at the kind of things that I need to adjust in my business. That's the little things that I put on this piece of paper and I get it done. What else did I want to share? Because this video is for all of you, but that young lady as well. I want to just give her an insight to what goes on outside of being on stage. Because most people, they just see me on stage. They do not see all this other stuff that goes on, the video editing that I do. And I like to do it myself because I like to learn. One thing Damon John said that stuck with me is that before he started hiring other people, he made sure that he knew everything, how to do everything in his business. That's how he knows he never gets cheated on pricing. When people are saying, oh, it's going to cost this much to edit a video, it's going to cost this much to do this picture, it's going to cost this much for this social media post. He knows what things cost. He knows what it takes, the time it takes to do it. And that is what I do as well now. Of course, I don't do my graphic designs because I can't do that, and I ain't gonna try to learn. So I just let somebody else do it. I've tried to learn it, and that was one thing that I do outsource. And I have a wonderful young lady in Madrid, Spain that, she's awesome. And so I keep her to myself, and she does a lot of work for me. But other than that, I try to do as much as I can myself. My emails myself, my phone calls myself. My social media for the most part myself. I had 2 interns this summer. They ended on Friday. So they were handling my Twitter for the past 2 months. And so I ain't gonna miss them, but they gotta go back to school. And they'll be back next summer. But either way, that is things that I do with my business. So that was for that young lady. I wanted to do that part. Now from last Thursday for my speaking engagement, something that I learned. And I always have to remind myself that everybody may not know exactly what I know and the strategies that I do. And last Thursday, my presentation that I was asked to do was personal finances and business. Because if you don't have your personal finances right, you will not be in business long, because it takes some money to run a business. And so I run my business debt-free. When you see me, pretty much all my speaking engagements, anything I'm getting paid for outside of my online products and books and everything, those checks don't come on that day. And they do not come on that day. So I have to be able to pay for my flights, pay for my hotels, anything that has to do with my business has to be paid for. All these subscriptions I have and everything has to be paid for out of pocket. So they wanted me to talk about that, personal finance in your business. So the title of it was When Your Only Option Is You. Because you can't just wait around for some venture capitalist to invest in your company. And it's definitely not smart to go into debt to start a company or to run it, because then you got some boss, and the boss is the bank. How you gonna concentrate on making money when somebody calling you all the time talking about you missed your payment this month on this credit card debt, or you missed this payment this month on this business loan? You can't concentrate. And so running my business debt-free helps me be focused. And it helps me just go after big contracts, and I can take those risks because my money is there, and I don't have to worry about paying somebody else back as far as debt is concerned. So somebody in the audience, when I finished, or was I finished? No, I might have been in the middle. And I had talked about conferences that I go to and how I decide on what conferences I do go to. So he said, can you explain how you do your return on investment, okay, for any conference that you go to? You all who follow me on social media know I go to a lot of conferences. And the reason I go to conferences is because I make money from the conferences. I only go to conferences that I know I'm going to have return on investment. And so I went on to explain how I do my return on investment. I said before I go to any conference, I write down, not on a piece of paper like this, like a regular notebook paper. I got a notebook. That's my return on investment notebook. And I write down how many speaking engagements I plan to pull from this conference, especially if I have a booth, how many books I plan to sell while at the conference and after, online products that I plan to sell, and my academies. So it's broken down, And so when I go, I know exactly what my goals are, and I mark them off. Like if I'm supposed to have 6 speaking engagements coming out of here, when one gets booked, all right, I got 5 left. That's how it goes. And now that I had an assistant go with me my last conference, and another one going to my next conference, which is in September, she would know too. Like I'm not always gonna be at the booth, and she knows, okay, it's how much we got to be selling while we're here. And even one speaking engagement, my return on investment, and thank you, my return on investment is completely made, period. Like I get one speaking engagement, the conference is worth it. There's not one conference I pay for that is more than one of my speaking fees. So if I get one speaking engagement, it's been worth it. So I was telling him, and this is something that I realized myself, he said, like, how do you know that it's worth it outside of the speaking engagement you get? I said, well, the conferences I go to, once I get a customer, and this is with anybody, if I just meet somebody through email and book them through email, they are going to be repeat customers. So when I started, I'm starting here. But every year I build on what I've already done. So that's why this year you've seen consistent speaking engagements throughout the entire year, because these are repeat customers in addition to new customers. It's much easier to get more business out of a current client than it is trying to keep getting more clients. And I'm doing it both. Like, I am always making sure that I have those repeat clients, but I'm putting new ones on each year that also become repeat clients. So that is, when he asked that question, it definitely made me think, because this was a room full of entrepreneurs or people who wanted to go full time. This event that I was at is an event for entrepreneurs, venture capitalists, and people who have 9 to 5s who might want to start a business or just want to know more about business. And so the room was full with that type of mindset. So we really were talking about return on investment. Do not do anything without a return on investment. If you mess up one time, like I've messed up and gone to conferences before that I misjudged it, especially early on in my career and early on in my business. I don't do that anymore, because I really make sure that it is a conference that's going to have some people speaking that I can get close to, that I need for client purposes, like bigger contracts, or I'm going to be able to speak and sell from the stage. More than likely, other than that, you're not going to see me at the conference, because it's not going to be beneficial, especially if I have to pay for it. No, not at all. So I just wanted to get on here. That was a little longer than I thought it was going to be, because I wanted to answer that young lady's question and go more in depth about what I do and how important it is to understand that, like for me, and this is the same thing, you put your occupation in this sentence. I'm not a speaker, I'm an entrepreneur. I own a business and I run it like a business. It just happens that majority of my income comes from speaking, but that's not my only income. And the only way I get on the stage is that I got to know how to run my business. And that's serious. And I tell students all the time, a lot of them are like, if they want to do what I'm doing or be an entrepreneur, I tell them, I say, well, you better be in the business school. And I tell them marketing all the time, because what I'm doing, even being on Instagram Live, this is marketing, okay? Whenever we're on social media, that's marketing. Whenever we have business cards, flyers, that's marketing material. Like, the world is marketing. You can work anywhere with a marketing degree. Hospitals, other nonprofits, the government, corporate America, for yourself with a marketing degree. And when people started asking me like what my major was, and then I'll say marketing, they'd be like, oh, okay. I've always had a business mind. I've always been about making money, even when I was a child. My parents had bought me a gumball machine, and I used to have the bubble gum machine. All you had to do is like twist it, and the gum would come out. But I would have the neighborhood kids come and put quarters in there to get a piece of bubble gum out. And that was in the 5th grade. I've always been about making money. And so I was definitely going to be a business major, going to college. And marketing was just so fun and so easy. If you want to just get through college, be a marketing major. Easiest major ever. So, but hope everybody has a good Monday. I'm ready to get back to work. I got some emails to send. And a lot of times I like to send my emails way before this, but it's the last week before school starts, so I'm kind of like just loosey-goosey here this week, but it'll get done. And I think I got the news this week. Let me write that down on my list. Always put Tracy's name when I need to send her a news segment to see if we're going to do that. So I'll put that on this list right here. That's like a running list. So I'm going to email Tracy right quick because I think we're going to do something on Wednesday. But I hope everybody has a great rest of the day. For those of you who bought the 8 survey and research sites that bring in you easy money, the travel hack list is on there, and a 11-minute video of how I save money on my flights and my hotels and car rentals and food, and I'm just giving you my strategies I use to save thousands of dollars each year on travel. So if you bought that list, make sure you check your email and go into the course and look at that video and the website and app list. It's easy money. Somebody DM me, said they were looking at it on Friday when it dropped. And they was like, it's awesome. I didn't even think about doing things like this. So it is available now. So those of you who have bought the 8 research and survey sites that pay you easy money, if you bought that list, the travel hack list and video is now in the course as well. If you want access, click the first link in the bio, pay your $19 and get it all. The guy, one of the guys, and I'll put his thing up later, within an hour he was making money off of one of the survey sites. He bought it at $8.52, by $9.51 he DM'd me, he said, I'm already making money. It's easy money, and it's $19. Like, it's a no-brainer. And you get all of that for $19. So for all those of you who have bought it, a lot of people have bought it already, make sure you check the travel hack video because it is fire. All right. So I hope you all have a great day, and I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye-bye.